Well, hello there. Do say hello, so I know that you're there. It looks like Simone's. Oh, Simone's started off with some irony by saying hello, and then she'll be a tad late. So um, she's here, but she's late. Make of that what you will. So we shall wait for a few people to come in. Mine's a 99 is in the house. Good evening, Mine's a 99. How are you? Number plate legend Matt Dickens is in the house. Good evening, Matt Dickens. How are you? Are you watching with Lisa? Or is this a solitary pleasure of yours? We'll let a few more come in before I start on my topics that I have for tonight. Bad Books, Mark is in the house. Mine's 99 is very well. Thank you. And I am also very well. Thank you. Mine's a 99. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's quite nice because I met Simone, who is here but isn't here on Saturday. I met Matt, and I met Bad Books, whose name is Mark, on Saturday. So it's very nice. Just Matt on the call, on the chat call. I've got to stop doing that. It's a work thing. I'm thinking I'm on Teams on a Monday doing various meetings. Matt is designing plates as we speak. Matt's plates are fantastic. He's done a couple of original dealer plates for me, and he's done a beards and bangers plate for the BRM. So those who saw my BRM at POL will have seen the beards and bangers number plate that I had made. Very, very nice. Car Crazy Norwegian is in the house. Good evening, Rob. How are you? I'm very well, thank you, Sven. How are you, dear boy? Very, very nice to have you in the chat. Thank you so much for coming along. Mark is good, and presumably I'm fully recovered. I am. And Bad Books also had his first ever Teams meeting on Monday. Do let me know what you make of Teams meetings, because I got a bit Teams meetinged out during the pandemic. So yeah, I would very much like to know what you made of a Teams meeting. Pingu Concord is here saying, "I up Northern Rob, A up Pingu. How are they?" I don't know if our actual Northern friend is going to be in the live stream tonight. He's been a poorly boy as Mr. Project MGTF. Yes, Car Crazy Norwegian, you finally get the chance to join. It is really, really, really nice to have you here. Really nice, really. It's good. How are things in Norway? Has the snow gone yet, or is it still bitterly cold? Pingu says more southern than me. Simon is definitely not more southern than me, unless you're definitely more southern than me, Pingu. But I guess I'm kind of in the middle, but not quite the Midlands. I think actually about 5 miles up the road from me is the point in the UK which is the furthest you can be from the sea. So I am really right in the middle, stuck in the middle, without a driveway. That's a song, I believe. It's very famous hit that I just made up. Upper South Pingu, yeah, you could call it that. Yeah, or South Midlands, or Northwest, Northeast. There's so many different permutations for Buckinghamshire. It's yeah, you could call it anything really. Bad Books was lucky to have no Teams meetings during COVID, except we totally lacked communication. Teams meeting was great, but would not want it often. I'm inclined to agree. I think a quick half an hour Teams meeting is a good thing, but trying to do a whole day meeting by Teams is not very good. Pingu asks, how is Bram this week? Bram is not with me because Bram was driven to Pride of Longbridge by Sam. Sam drove Bram and has still got Bram. So, yeah, I will get Bram back fairly soon. He's actually going to have some new rear shock absorbers because his arse is quite firm when going over a bump. So firm that it sends a shockwave up the spine. Yeah, so Bram will have some new rear shockers put on, and then he'll be back with me. I guess sometime next week. Sven Car Crazy Norwegian, and if you haven't checked Sven's channel out, please do, because he's one of the few Rover owners in Norway, and there is a community over there. And do correct me if I'm wrong, Sven, but yeah, his videos are very, very good. So yeah, Car Crazy Norwegian. You can see his channel name there. So do check out Sven's channel. Project MGTF is in the house. Wicked. So that I thought Simon was the furthest north person in the chat, but now that Sven's in the chat, he's Norway's definitely further north than Yorkshire. Unless we've got any Shetland Islanders. I don't know of any Shetland Islanders who follow me. Bram is having a little holiday. Yeah, he's having a spa break. Unlike the spa hotel that I stayed in on Friday night, which wasn't a spa. Yeah, I stayed in the Bromsgrove Hotel and Spa, which was quite nice because there were a few other Rovers and MGs in the car park. But I got kind of worried when I walked in the door and there were three security. There was two. I think it was two security guards when I got there, and then in the morning when I got up at about 6 o'clock, there was three security guards. So yeah, it was yeah, a little bit disconcerting. Maybe they knew I was there and they wanted extra security to protect me and the 260. That would likely be it. Pingu did see Bram at POL looking very good. Yes, I thought he did look good, and the boys did a good job of cleaning him up. Although we're just looking at the paint in the sunlight, he does need a bit of a polish. He's a bit swirly, as Bram, as well as having a slightly rotten bit in his boot. But we may have solution on panels now, which is very good. R8 Simon Plus. Is that a new car, Pingu? An R8 Simon Plus. Project, and it says, sorry we're late, was watching Mandalorian is superb. I've actually got to catch up on the third series. I think I've watched 2 episodes. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying the Star Wars spin-offs. We can discuss that as a topic. I wasn't planning on it, but I do like Star Wars. So if anyone's got any thoughts about Star Wars and their spin-offs, then good or bad. If you think Star Wars is shite because you're a Trekkie, then you can say that. It's fine. I won't judge you. But Mandalorian, superb. So did I miss the elephant? Yeah, the elephant in the room. I can't remember why I initially titled this live stream "The Elephant in the Room," because I've now changed. I did change the title, I thought, to something to do with hitting 1,000 subscribers, which I'll come on to in a minute, and Pride of Longbridge and something else, which I actually now can't remember. Great people, which is kind of what we're doing here, because you lot are great people. Spa or Spa, yeah, it was it was SPA, but I think people may have been sparring, hence the security guard was there. Um, yeah, Matt stayed at the Premier in Longbridge next year. I'm going to stay at the Premier in Longbridge next year. Faux show. Um, Pingus has my new diet going. I'm eating less. I'm eating berries more. So I'm having natural, organic, live yogurt in the morning with raspberries and blueberries. I'm having a low-fat, non-fried lunch, and the same for dinner. And it's so far, I've actually got a lot of energy, so I'm not feeling like I've got to have a nap in the afternoon when I get home from work. But yeah, no, it's going very well. Thank you, Pingu. Simon says evening brackets insert name. Have I missed someone out? I do apologise if I have. Pingu asks, "Have I watched Picard?" No, I have not. Is that a Star Trek spin-off? I'm guessing. Do let us know, Pingu. Bad Books was reading up on Longbridge and a bleak-looking Cofton Park held 12,000 employees for union meetings with Red Robbo. I remember seeing it on John Craven's Newsround. John Craven's Newsround. Yeah, I remember that when I was a child. And John Craven, I think, is he still going? Is he still doing Country File? I haven't watched that for a while. Simon asserts that Disney have nailed the Star Wars stuff. He loves all the new stuff they're coming out with. I agree. Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's just called Kenobi, I think. That was brilliant. The Book of Boba Fett, which I was struggling with until the Mandalorian. I better not say, but I was struggling with that until a certain character came into it. And Ujud says, "This is the way." And when we stare at our rovers, MGs, and other marks are available, we say, "This is the way." Picard, I need to know more about that. So, yeah, and Simon wants to start on that one. Simon says Picard is awesome too, although I can't watch it without thinking of Sex Bomb in Scott Pilgrim. I haven't watched Picard, and I can't think what Sex Bomb in Scott Pilgrim is. So that statement may well be lost on me, but I'm sure will not be lost on the other more learned folks that are listening to me but can't actually speak. Right, they can only type. Matt Dickens, number plate legend, says the last scene of the last episode, I shed a tear. Literally, my childhood after school, eating dinner, watching TNG. FM, welcome, FM. I've not seen you before. FM very kindly comes in the live stream and says, "Really enjoyed the video on the X Type. Think you were one of the few implying the diesel wasn't as bad." I've driven 2 diesel X Types, and they are both really good cars. They go like stink. I think I reviewed the Estate, or sorry, Simon, Tourer. This is the year of the Tourer. But I drove a saloon, which I didn't actually review because I thought I didn't want to do another X Type 2.2 video. And the saloon handled that. I thought it was 4-wheel drive because they did make a 4-wheel drive X Type, I think, right at the beginning, and then they stopped it. But FM, if you're more knowledgeable about Dragulas, do please correct me. I do not bite if I'm corrected, unless paid. But yeah, the saloon handled like it was on rails, but it turned out it was just a front-wheel drive. But yeah, really impressed with the X Types. Want to get my hands on an S Type though at some point. But welcome, FM. Pingu says, yes, it's a Star Trek spin-off without the next generation. It's pretty naff, but funny to see how all the crew have aged. Yeah, it's probably something I should probably watch some other Star Trek before I watch something like Picard, maybe, unless I just go into it as a virgin. Project MGTF fills me in, which he's very good at. Sex B-Bomb is the band in Scott Pilgrim, and the drummer is the lass in Picard. Okay. Year of the Tourer, yacht. Yacht. We just go around saying yacht. Pingu Concord says 2024 year of Simon's Streetwise. Simon's Streetwise. Is Simon getting a Streetwise? I am beginning to come round to Streetwise. I don't know who pointed out. I think it might have been Mine to 99. Pointed out to me on last week's live stream that there was a green Streetwise for sale in Aylesbury, which is where I live in the middle of the country, the north-south. And I did look it up on Facebook, but I was busy at the end of last week. I was getting ready for trying to get the 260 kind of, fettled, getting it clean, blah, 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 driving up to Birmingham, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't get a chance to look at it. Waiting outside Longbridge on Saturday morning, this green Streetwise pulls up in front of me, and I'm like, hang on, I recognise that number plate. And I got out and said to Dad, you bought that from Aylesbury yesterday, didn't you? And he went, yeah. So that car was bought the day before Pride of Longbridge, taken to Pride of Longbridge, and was also on the Rover and British Mark stand. So it was it's a small old world, the Rover world, I think. But yes, so Simon, you're getting a Streetwise. I may be tempted to dabble in the Streetwise because 2024, we now believe, is the year of the Streetwise. Dinosaur Dad, welcome. Very nice to have you here. You got up especially at 6 a.m. to be on this live stream. I hope the Tetleys is flowing down nicely, but it's nice to have an Australian contingent in the live stream. So I think we've got Norway. We do occasionally get the USA if Stephen S. Paul graces us with his presence. We've got Australia, and we've got Yorkshire, which is, I believe, a separate country. But yeah, thank you for being here at 6 a.m. It's appreciated, and thank you for some of your wonderful comments and interaction this week on my videos. FM, another newbie. So we've got a couple of newbies in tonight, which is very nice. Awesome. Yes, indeed. They did an all-wheel drive X-type Jag, mostly petrol V6. And you actually discovered my channel as you were looking for reviews of the X-type, and then I subscribed. Thank you very much. That review was actually curtailed because the rear near side tire decided to deflate on me, so that I had to wrap that one up a little bit earlier than I wanted to, but it's still I think a fairly successful video. Pingu asks Diana about having had breakfast, and Simon also welcomes FM, who was actually looking to buy one, but everyone told me the diesel was a bad idea. But I take your advice. Happy to someone who gives a genuine opinion. I couldn't fault it. I couldn't fault either of the X types I've driven. And the engine's derived from a Mondeo. It's a Ford Dura. Got to get the right one. Dura Torque engine. And I had a Mondeo with that same engine in the early 2010s, whatever you call that decade, and that was a steam train as well, but not quite as refined as the X type. Car Crazy Norwegian Sven has had quite a few X types, although the Norwegians have had quite a few X types with all-wheel drive, but only petrol engines, stylish cars. They are. I'd actually like to get out in an all-wheel drive one and a petrol one just to compare. But I thoroughly enjoyed the probably 4 days I spent with I spent 2 days with the X type estate and 2 days with the X type saloon. FM Belgium. Are you joining us from Belgium, FM, or are you answering someone else's question that I've missed? My eyesight is, how shall I put it, atrocious. So yes, if you're from Belgium, from Belgium. Well, I don't know if you're in the French-speaking part or the Dutch-speaking part, but I do not speak Dutch. I speak French, but bonsoir, ça va bien. if you understood that, which I know someone on this chat will. So we've got Belgium, Norway, USA. Because I've just seen Stephen S. Paul. I can sit back. I can actually read the comments with my glasses on. Australia. So Belgium, Norway, Australia, United States, and Yorkshire. Brilliant. Yes, and Simon says, "Oh, it's good to have new folks join. More brains for moulding." Yeah, not that we mould people on Beards and Bangers. I'm going to have a quick slurp. I'll just keep an eye on where my place are. I must actually change this to all comments because I keep having it on top chat, live chat, and that's made no difference at all. I'm going to have a little slurp of this. This isn't actually Sauvignon Blanc. This is an Our Troll Spritzer, which is 1/3 Our Troll and then 2/3 soda water. It's fantastic. I was using it yesterday and today, and it smells so good. So I thought, well, why not make a cocktail from it? No, actually, it is wine. Before anyone goes and makes an Our Troll cocktail. Right, all these comments are really flying. I've got to keep up with them because I'm determined to be disciplined with this, and I've still not actually. I've actually kind of via the back door mentioned one of my subjects, Our Troll. It's just everyone's got. Is Our Troll the new laughing gas? Are we going to see street corners or park benches with Our Troll cans just littering the area up? Because Our Troll is now suddenly so hot on the agenda. So if you've bought Our Troll, then this is a safe space. You can tell us about it here. So please drop it in the comments about your experience with Our Troll. So Stephen S. Paul, hello. I did say hello briefly because I was so excited that we've got pretty much every continent covered now. We just need to hit the South American market, and we need to get some Tata workers in from India to tell us what they're up to over there. Matt had a Mondeo with the 2.5 turbo Volvo lump in it. That was a blast. I bet it was. Yeah, those Volvo 2.5 lumps are meaty. Pingu asks, in my expert experience, which standard motor sounds better, the ZT260 or the Crown Vic? I've only ever driven a ZT260. I've never driven a Crown. I was hoping to drive a Crown Vic because someone's got one up the road from me, but they sold it, which was a real bugger. They'd agreed to let me do a test drive, but then they suddenly sold it, and they said, "Oh, you can't. You better not take it out in case you wrap it round a supermarket." And never saw it. So I'm going to have to try and beg, borrow, and steal a Crown Victoria from somewhere. I'd say the ZT260's exhaust is probably a bit, just from watching sort of footage of Crown Victorias, I would say the ZT260 is a bit rortier sounding. But I'd like to drive a Crown Vic to make an accurate comparison. And I didn't get a chance to listen to the Rover. There was quite a few Rover 75 V8s at Pride of Longbridge, and I didn't actually get to have a look at one. And I was hoping there was a really nice, don't know the color, dark burgundy Rover 75 V8 Tourer, and I wanted to get some footage of it just really for Simon, because it's the year of the Tourer, and but they disappeared really early. Although the day just disappeared for me. One minute I looked at my watch and it was 9 o'clock, and the next minute it was 3 o'clock, and I basically spent the day chatting to folks, which was absolutely thoroughly lovely. I'll get back to you on that, Pingu. So I'll try and I would like to get my hands on the Crown Vic. I know Matt from Furious has got one, which that's a lovely looking thing. That's the police interceptor version with the the anti-squirter back seats. FM to bonsoir. Bonsoir à vous. Bonsoir à vous. That's good. Yes, I do know a little bit. I have been to Belgium. But yeah, I speak French and German. So my Dutch, I've never. It's not a language, or Flemish. Sorry to to use the incorrect dialect, is not a language I've studied. Project MD says all the countries and Yorkshire. Mine's Nine says, don't forget Milton. Yes, the independent city, I think it is now a city, of Milton Keynes, which is local to me. And I'm guessing where you're from, that area as well. So another Buckinghamshire boy, unless you're in the Bedfordshire bit. 'Cause I think part of Milton Keynes is in Bedfordshire, unless I'm mistaken. Bad Books is in British West Hartlepool, but living in South Links. So Hartlepool, for those that don't know, is in the north east. I don't think it's quite as far up as Newcastle and Durham, but it's certainly getting up that way. Simon says at FM, apparently the Pommes frites museum is rubbish. I didn't know there was a museum, but pommes frites avec moule is lovely. Frites avec mayonnaise, from memory, and the mayonnaise is also very nice as well. Sven has to go already, but have a catch up later. Absolutely, keep in touch, and good night to you, sir. And thank you so much for coming on the live chat, because it's greatly appreciated. Pingu says, I'm Sir Rob B&B, International Man of Evening Entertainment, sponsored by Our Troll. That mysterious, fine-smelling substance that restores anything. I mean, I've actually smeared it on my face. I probably better stop saying things about drinking it and smearing it on one's face, because I'm going to get kicked off YouTube or something similar. But yeah, it seems to be good stuff. Dinosaur Facts, Dad. Yes, I remember you flying the Scottish flag also, if you class that as a separate country. Most do these days. Yes, it'll be interesting what happens in Scotland with Nicola Sturgeon no longer flying the Saltaire. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yes, the Our Troll Spritzer. It's yeah, it's got a very nice bouquet. Bad Books has a connection to Belgium because he sells plants. Rudy Ray's primrose plants from Belgium. Simon is going to make some Our Troll. Simon has got a sticker printing device with a blunt blade. But yeah, this is very exciting that we have someone in the community that can make stickers. So I'm going to have a Year of the Tourer sticker, even though I don't own a Tourer that works. Well, I will put one in my ZT just for fun. But I'm going to ironically put one in my saloons just because I can. And because Simon will give me a sticker, I'm sure he will. Yeah, Our Troll stickers definitely need to be done. That would be bloody fantastic. Pingu thinks he our twatted wrong as HJ's headlights went cloudy again after 2 days. I have to watch back the video, but I'm pretty sure Mike from Classic Wheels Wales gave washed it with soap and water and rinsed it and dried it, and then kind of slathered a very thin smear on, and then buffed it off. I mean, it's very sticky. It goes very sticky when it goes on the headlights, and then it seems to. I mean, it does, the water beads up. It rained after I did some Our Troll on Monday, and the water did bead up as if you use ceramic or wax. So it obviously does something. But yeah, I'll monitor what it does. I've not used it on a headlight yet. I've only used it on tail lights, just because I could use it and smell it and love it and get my hands all over it. It's Our Troll. It does these things to me. But yeah, let us keep in touch about that. See if it see if you can get it to come back. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This could be a great big. It could be one of these, scams. Like everyone's got excited for our troll, and then everyone's going to be walking around with not just cloudy headlights, but milky headlights. They'll actually go white. Let's hope that doesn't happen. The 260 will be set up for nice sound. Crown Vic will be strangled. Simon says, "Yeah, I would imagine it's probably still a nice growl, but yeah, I need to get out in the Crown Vic." Stephen S. Paul has car news. Picked up a 1986 Audi 5000 CSL Quattro sedan in silver, sold new in Beverly Hills, California, when new, 124,000 miles, so it's barely running. Very clean. Boss paid $110 for it at a Copart auction. Bunch of stuff this week. You come on here, but Steven, which I love, and please don't stop. But you come on here and just get everyone's juices flowing. When by the time you finish telling us what's landed in your lap over there in the States, there's not a wet seat there's not a dry seat in the house. Sorry, it's so tantalizing, so tempting. Jimmy Quinn's not in to tell us about his list of cars, so at least that's something. So we may not quite get a tsunami, but just hearing about these cars that you pick up over there, absolutely incredible. And I'm guessing saying your boss paid it up. So I'm guessing you work in the automotive industry in some way. So do tell us. It's very interesting. The comments just flying into that. I've only covered, which I need to tick off with my. Yeah, I haven't got a problem. Sharpie pen. So I'll tick off our troll. If anyone wants to make any comments about our troll, then do it. But yeah, we'll get through these comments and I'll go to a topic. Simon went to Belgium in a Morris Minor. He missed seeing Hull at Sheffield Uni. Gutted. Going to Belgium in a Morris Minor sounds fab. Matt Dickens says Milton Keynes Satan's lay-by. Goodness, Mr. Dickens, number plate legend. That's a bit of a harsh statement, but you can say what you want. It's a safe space, but mine's a 99, and maybe me are going to kick your butt because Milton Keynes is great. That's like our regional centre around here for doing stuff like shopping and Costco's. If I didn't have Milton Keynes, I wouldn't be able to get 30 packs of microfiber towels every month, which I love. I like microfiber towels. Pinky says, I'm sure Furious Matt would be up for a swap test drive video with your 260. Yeah, I was considering that. That is definitely something I might well do. That or the BRM, because I don't think he's done a BRM on his channel. Matt's obviously there's a reference there, which Simon's got it. I haven't. Which is which is not difficult because a lot of things go over my head. It's the lack of hair that causes that. So yeah, maybe one of you two young men, Mr. Year of the Tour or number plate legend, would like to explain that one to me. Simon would like to do a tour up to Scotland. Yeah, I've done a tour to Scotland, but not before I did YouTube, and it is the A87 that you go out of Glasgow round Loch Lomond and you get up to Tarbet and into Glencoe. It is stunning. And then you can keep going further up to Inverness, Fort William, and it's just it's a great driving experience. And the scenery is stunning. I know if I've got Swiss and German colleagues, and I say to them, look, if you're going to come here, add a few days on, get yourself to Scotland because it's obviously that's after I've recommended the tour of Milton Keynes because that also can't be missed because very similar scenery. Yeah. Oh, don't do a Donald Trump. Dinosaur says, don't do a Donald Trump. Yeah, gotta drink our troll. Fake news, or whatever he says. Um, Simon, very observant. I'll check who said that. Simon, yes, that is the MGTF headlining. I've put it deliberately behind me on the piano music stand because it slots in there really nicely. A, to keep it away from the cat, and B, so it's visible. So it's not a topic, but yeah, that headlining is still that foam is seriously stuck on there. So I've given it it's had 3 scrubs now, and there's still bloody foam on it. So I'm going to take to it tomorrow with a brush on a cordless drill carefully. Yes, but that is the TF headlining, which we'll really want to do before the weekend because I'm taking the TF to Drive It Day at the mini plant in Cowley. Stephen S. Paul does auto salvage. Best job in the world? Question mark, question mark. Been doing it for 33 years now. Auto salvage just sounds like to me it'd be like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a keeper, and then you end up keeping them all. Like that would be me working in auto salvage. I don't know, I'm not breaking that for parts. We'll spend 5 times more than the car's worth and get it back on the road. Mine says music reference from the bowl, maybe. The bowl is, I haven't been to the bowl for years. That is last time I went to the Milton Keynes Bowl, I saw Linkin Park, who were supported by Pendulum, JZ, or as the Americans call him, Jay-Z, Enter Shikari, and a few others. I can't remember exactly who, but yeah, that was a really good one. That's actually quite a long time ago. Simone says, hi Rob. Hi Simone, I thought you were already here because you said hello, and then I only spotted afterwards that you said you were going to be a tad late, but welcome aboard. And Simone congratulates me on hitting 1,000 subscribers, so that's one of my topics. So I'll use this as an opportunity to thank each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel, supporting my channel. I think everyone on here makes comments and interacts in some way. And a lot of you are on my Facebook group as well. So thank you, Simone. Thank you, all of you, for getting me some way towards that 1,000 subscribers. Got a bit of a challenge now to get the watch hours up by the end of this month because I started doing YouTube, albeit with one video. I didn't do many videos for about 4 months, I don't think. So I've only got myself to blame for not having many watch hours, but I've heard some kind people saying they're going to have the there's a playlist of mine called the Beards and Bangers Complete Collection. So I'm just imagining Simone having that on loop. But yeah, thank you. I was touched. It happened at Pride of Longbridge, and I think also Simone, you went to 1,500 over the weekend at Pride of Longbridge. Congratulations! I think Colin from Robson Rover Repair, the same happened to him. So the three of us all had little milestones at Pride of Longbridge. And of course, I met you, Simone, on Saturday. Even though I felt I already kind of knew you from watching your stuff and you being on here and stuff. It was very nice to chat to you. And thank you for your featurette in my my very brief Pride of Longbridge video. Pingu says he's going to take his tourer on a tour of the UK when it's ready. Maybe mini camper styly. That sounds really cool. And I would like to meet your tourer because I've got a bit of a thing for 420 GSI tourers. But that sounds an awesome road trip to plan. FM, by the way, about the Fiat Panda, I had an Italian friend who wanted to buy a car down in Italy, went to a dealer, looked at the VW, dealer wouldn't give him a warranty, but did one on the 15-year-old Panda. That car's gone now. So that's my ex-partner's car, and she's now chopped it in for a Honda Jazz. So that car was quite brittle. But I'm amazed it's very, very loyal to the Italian. The Italians being very loyal to their own brand, I'm guessing. Yes, it is the year of the Tourer. in case anyone wasn't aware. Lot 76 Cars says, evening all. Anyone at Bicester Scramble this Sunday? I'm not. I know someone who is. I think someone I know is going to Bicester Scramble, unless there's another event up there. Is Bicester Scramble at the Heritage Centre, Lot 76. I'm personally going to the Maestro 40th anniversary, Rover 600 30th anniversary at the mini plant at Cowley. But I'm taking my TF because other marks and makes are welcome. But if anyone is going to Bicester Scramble, then do put it in the comments. Jimmy Quinn's in the house. Hello, Jimmy Quinn. Good evening. Excuse me a second. That's what you wanted to hear. So you wait for Boaty's first burp of the night, and no, we won't make a thing of me blowing my nose. It's the hour troll. It's one of the side effects of hour troll, I think. Simone has something to do. That's fine. That's fine. Come and go as you please. That's it's hopefully chilled out. I'm just gonna have a glass of hour troll spritzer, commonly known as New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. Oh, that's lovely. Right, Matt explains the Milton Keynes thing. It's from a Bill Bailey show. He was talking about Marilyn Manson doing a show in Milton Keynes. It's not quite hell, but it's on the way. Okay, that's very good. Bill Bailey's a very witty, clever man. Simone asks, how many hours do I have? I think I've got about 2,700, something like that. So yeah, I'm quite a way short. And the reason I didn't do many, I didn't really set out to do YouTube videos, but I did a couple and started enjoying it, and did another couple, and I didn't do it. I think I did, I don't know, 3 or 4 in like 4 months. And then I bought the 190 and did a video on that, and that got loads of I'm gonna say hits, views very quickly, and that kind of got me a bit more interested. But we were trying to go through a house move. So basically, I had an abortive house move, which led to an abortive relationship, and in the middle of that, I had COVID. So I had about 2 months where I was very intermittent with making videos. So I've not actually made that many videos. So if I don't hit 4,000 by the end of April, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I will at some point, I'm sure. My comments have jumped. Oh, where have I gone? I've clicked on something, haven't I? Oh, there we are. So yes, Simone asked me about my watch hours. A lot 76 Car says, evening, thanks for the channel mention. You've got a channel, have you? If you've got a channel, then please tell us about it. Lot 76. I know you do subscribe to me, obviously, and I probably have had a look, but I've got so many subscriptions now. It's getting quite challenging to keep it up. But anyone in the community that I know, I will make a point of watching your videos and commenting and liking, because that's what I do. So we've got Car Crazy Norwegian, who was on the chat but has left. We've got Project MGTF, an excellent channel. We've got Hooked on Classics, another excellent channel. And we've got Lot 76 Cars. So I think I don't think, and we've got Mr. F as well. The channel Mr. F to mention. So yeah, if any of you don't know those channels, please check them out. And I have got a in my playlist, I've got like a friends and community channels playlist with other people's videos, which I will update, because I've not done that for a while. And I make a note in Sharpie pen, update community channel playlist. There we are. That's a serious comment, rather than me being silly and doing cat tuner receptors and stuff like that. Simon saw lots and pandas today, little red ones. Have you been to a zoo? I quite like a red panda in the zoo. But yeah, the actual regular pandas look quite nice in red. Um, Simon asked if they do a jazz type R. I don't know. I'm I'm struggling to see um, Doris going to Sainsbury's on her once a weekly trip in a Type R, but you never know. We live in a broad church. Um, Bad book. Mark asked Simon if he got him a baboon. Um, shall we do a round? FM makes a very good. It's not on my topics, but you made a good suggestion. So, shall we do a round of everyone's car's pride and joy? Please do. If you've got a car you're proud of, um, please put it in. My one is my MGZT 190 because that car was a shitbox until recently, and it's nearly done. So once we get the dashboard back to see if there's anything wrong with it, the airbag light won't go out. And once it gets its double-din unit, it's got a new headlining now. So just waiting for two little teensy-weensy things. It's actually going to be quite a nice car. And I can't wait to get back out in it because that's like my daily. Other than my van, which is my actual daily. Yeah, it's at the Heritage. Okay, yeah, I know someone who's going. I do know someone who's going in a red Land Rover, maybe. Excuse me. Am I going to the Furious Driving Meet? Says Dinosaur Dad. Sounds like it could be a meet up of quite a few YouTubers. Yes, I'm going. I know Boaty's going. I know Paul from Project Nigel's going, I believe. And I'm hoping Simon's coming. So yes, I think there could be quite a few YouTubers there. And I've just jumped the comments again. Yeah, it should be quite a good bit. I've never been to the Motorist, so it's going to be nice for that. And I'm not going just to make content. I'm going because it's a meetup, and I think I got about 25 minutes content out of Pride of Longbridge. I think that was enough. I was more concerned with speaking to people that I'd not met. Simone, Mark being examples, Matt being example. I had some really thoroughly good conversations with some thoroughly good people. So it was nice. That's why the day disappeared because I was just chatting all day. Pingu answers about the Jazz. No, just the twin turbo V spec Jazz import only. So they make imports. The Japanese specs they've always got more toys on, haven't they? Sounds fun. Project MGTF's cars. Simon's got an MGTF, a Rover 75 Tourer, a Civic TI, and a CBR 600F bike. So I'll do mine. So yeah, I've got my 190, which is mentioned is my favourite car. My pride. That's my pride and joy because it's come on so far, so quickly. I've got an MGZT 260, which is getting there. I've got an MGTF 160. I've got a Rover 200 BRM, and I've got an MGZTT 2-litre diesel, which has got no clutch at the moment, but it has yet to be. I bought it as a donor car, so it's kind of sitting there, having done its job, waiting for a decision. Pink says that mad DJ bloke has a 700 horsepower VTEC turbo Jazz. That sounds absolutely insane, and I would love to see Doris or Winifred going to Sainsbury's in one of those. That would be absolutely incredible. But I'd like to know who the mad DJ bloke is. Simon says, "Don't read this comment, Rob. It will slow you down." No, it won't. I know where that's from. Bad Books' cars are a 1987 bread van. I am still looking for one of those. I keep saying I'm not going to buy any more cars, but I can't help it. A 1987 bread van, which I'd like to see actually, Mark. A 1992 MX-5 Mark 1, which I believe we call Unos, and a company car 2023 Skoda Octavia Tourer, but Mark's is really in a state. Yeah, they're three fantastic cars. What engine's the Octavia got, Mark? Is it the 2-litre Audi VW lump thing that's quite pokey? FM has a 2000 3.2 XJ8 Jag, and a Volvo V50 is a daily. Solid Swedish ride. We all like one of those, don't we? That's a nice combination there. Modern classic and a modern classic and a modern workhorse, but a very nice workhorse. Matt Dickens has an MG ZS 2.5 V6 monogram Nocturne. Only 6 were made, and Matt has the number 3rd one, and the only one left in that colour in the UK. And I think your dear lady has a Nocturne ZR 160 as well. We should let Lisa speak for herself if she ever gets to come on one of my live stream. There was loads. Yeah, there was your monogram photo shoot on Saturday. I missed it, but I heard about it, and must have been quite nice. Simone is trying to edit a new film, but I'm losing interest. Frustrating. Yeah, I was editing a film early this evening, and I was like, "Oh, is this done yet?" And I kept finding clips that I hadn't actually watched and trimmed and buggered about with, and it's like, oh god. Yes, but yeah, we've got to do these things. We have got to do these things. Simon gives some sage advice. Never edit when you're bored. It makes it less fun. If the fun stops, stop, as someone else says about something else. Simone's list: a Ford Cortina Mark III Estate, known as TC, and a Kawasaki ZZR 600D1 are both my pride and joy. Just the wish the bike was in one piece. Well, I'm sure it will be, Simone, with your knowledge and skills. It'll be back in one piece one day. Yes, Furious Driving Meetup. That's going to be good, Simon. And that's like, was it a week? No, it can't be. Is it a week this weekend? It must be. Jeepers. Pingu scrapped the Manky Pug 205 and sold his trusty Mark 1 RAV4 in the last 5 days. They're down to 13 cars now. You're catching me up, sir. You're catching me up in the reverse way. Simon says the motorist can be full of show-offs and revs boys. Mostly nice folks, though. Do you think this will be a slightly more sedate affair? I'm guessing it might. Stephen S. Paul, too many pride and joys for me. I've got about 6. All right, show off. 60 pride and joys. Then more on top of more. It's just, yeah. 60 cars. I did meet some people with similar numbers on Saturday, but you've got more than 60 cars. So you've got 60 pride and joys plus some grot, presumably. Dinosaur Dad has a 2010 Toyota 3.5 Camry and a Ford Falcon Ute 4-litre, because you don't do small engines in Australia. Is that still the case? That sounds nice. Yeah, we've got some Ford Oz and some Toyota there. Matt's missus has a ZR 1.8 160 in monogram Twilight. Only 5-door in the UK in that colour, which Rob did a lovely video of. It's a feature. It's one of my. I didn't video many cars actually, because there's so much other content where people do these sort of comprehensive walk rounds. And I was keen not just to stand there filming all day, but to actually engage with you. Plus, I had people talking to me about my 260 and asking questions and giving advice, which is really helpful. Yes, so yeah, I enjoyed filming that car, Matt. And also W Reg Rover 25 with super low miles. That's a really early 25 then, if it's W Reg. Matt's sound great. Simone's other cars are a Rover 75 CDT, who I met on Saturday, and a Yamaha RS 125 DX. So Simone's got 4 vehicles, so that's a sensible number. Um, Pingu Concord, DMO DJ. Never heard of him. Jazz looks stock from outside. Sounds interesting though. It's yeah. It's just Doris and Winifred doing their little commute to Sainsbury's. Well, no, it'd be Waitrose, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be say it'd be Waitrose. To go and they'd be like doing little donuts in the car park. And going, this is fun, isn't it? I'm doing that voice again. Minus 99 has an Audi A5 Quattro, lovely, and a poorly Rover Tomcat. Oh, you got a Tomcat, which I love, but it's poor. How is it poorly? Minus 99. Do tell. Dinosaur Dad has a 2010 3.5 Camry, Ford Falcon Ute. Hang on, have I just read this out? Oh, you're augmenting it. Kia Sportage diesel, which belongs to the wife, a Vito work van, and a 1991 Audi 100 Quattro. Nice. Bad Books. Octavia got 2-litre diesel DSG, goes well. Yeah, it's a good setup. It is a good setup. Project MGTF says, I can't believe the guitarist from ABBA passed away. Didn't know he had. Not looked at the news today at all. Good job they did the fake ABBA for the shows. Too soon? I don't know. Simon asks, Pingu asks Simon how Uj is doing. Uj is here somewhere, I think. Stephen S. Paul is a couple of the old 1957 to 1959 Skoda Octavias out of the desert, though. They're not mine, though. It's your land. Okay, just people just left them there, have they? Can't think of what the 50s Octavia looks like. So that's going to be a Google job for me. Project Nigel is in the house and says, congrats, matey, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, Paul. And good evening. And everyone now says hello to Paul. Pingu asked the same question as me about Mines in 99. What's wrong with your Tomcat? So do tell us, Mines in 99. Pingu is certainly Pingu or Paul, people certainly to ask. FM says, yes, my XJ8 is also low miles, only 40k on the clock. Found it on a written ad at the local co-op. That's amazing. That sounds brilliant. Some little handwritten advert. It's probably Doris or Winifred who wrote it and left it there. Pingu also has a poorly Tomcat, so hopefully it's not a catching thing like Dutch elm disease. Tomcat trouble disease. Mines 99 answers. It needs a steering rack and ball joints and welding. Hopefully getting sorted soon. I hope so too, Mines 99, because we've got to preserve and maintain and keep these cars on the road. And yes, Paul has just finished. Hope everyone is okay. I am fine. I will let everyone else say their piece. Right, one of my topics tonight. So last week we discussed a very important issue, one of the a pressing issue that's affecting the country, and that was the correct condiment choice for a bacon sandwich. Tonight, I want to talk about a dish that's been appropriated by countless people across the, especially the sort of the Commonwealth countries. But I'd like to hear Stephen S. Paul's take on this as well, and that is spaghetti bolognese, a dish that doesn't actually exist in the country that it comes from or is purported to come from. So in Italy, in the town of Bologna, where bolognese comes from, they don't have spaghetti with it. They have tagliatelle or pappardelle, and they make a very simple sauce containing beef and pork and sometimes veal, a sofrito of carrot, celery, onion, no garlic, no herbs, a little tomato puree, a little passata, water, and then it's finished with a little milk at the end. And it's cooked for a very long time. And they say, hey, remember, it's a sauce. It's not, you don't smother the plate in it, even though we do, and I do as well. So tell me, how do you make your bolognese? If you eat bolognese. If you don't eat bolognese, it's fine. Don't say anything. But how do you make your bolognese sauce? Because one thing I've noticed in this country, and of course, this is an international live stream, so our Belgian contingent, our US contingent, Australian contingent, uh, I think our Norwegian contingent has now left. Then, but please, please, do tell us how you make your bolognese sauce and what pasta do you serve with it. Back to the comments while I let you sit. Excuse me, and talk about that. Rover Joe is here. Good evening, Rover Joe. How are you? Nice to sit next to you briefly, even though I was barely at my car on Saturday. Another person I met on Saturday. Very, very good. FM says, I'm so lost with all the MG Rover discussion. We only have a few in Belgium. You don't see them that often anymore. I was on a work trip to Switzerland in October, and I saw a midnight blue Rover 75 on the motorway near Zurich, and that was quite something. I think there's quite a big MG Rover scene in France. I believe Rover is seen as a very, even though it is, it's made by Le Rospif. The French do see Rover as a very prestigious brand. I think there's quite a decent Rover stroke MG scene in France. So it's obviously not trickled across the border into Belgium quite so much, but it's probably not as big as I'm making out in France. But apologies, FM. We do discuss other brands, but I think there is a bit of a majority in this room of MG Rover people, but other marks do exist. Everyone's saying hello. Simon makes the sauce by pouring it out of the jar. That's how you make it. That is fine. Mine's 99 also uses a jar. Simone buys frozen bolognese. Any pasta is fine by Simon. I am well, thank you, Rover Joe. Did Rover Joe get his degree work done in time? I will let Rover Joe answer that because I simply don't know the answer, and that I shouldn't have read that comment out. Dinosaur enjoyed Rover Joe's POL video. I'm about halfway through yours, so I've got a few more to catch up on. FM bolognese with meat in it, indeed, usually with spaghetti. Yep. And Drover Joe, like Project MGTF, is also very observant. Yes, behind me is the headlining from my MGTF hardtop. And I will explain once again. It's there, to keep it away from the cat, because it's quite tacky. And I don't want to have a cat stuffed headline. And also to make sure that when I edit this live stream tomorrow, that I see it and get annoyed by it and actually finish it. Because I'm halfway through a video of doing it as well, but you can probably see that there's still remnants of foam all over the bloody thing, despite the fact I've been scrubbing it like a scrubber for the last few days, intermittently. I've not been scrubbing constantly because you get scrubbing cramp if you keep doing that. But yes, you are observant, Rover Joe. That is a headlining you can see behind me. Pingu asks, does anyone here like the original Honda HR-V? I'm trying to think what one of those is now. I do. Yes, they're quite. Oh, yeah, they're quite. I don't know. They've got presence. Bad Books pitches into the very important bolognese debate. Steak mince, 2 cloves of garlic, passata, tomato puree, Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, fresh peppers and mushrooms with spaghetti. Interesting. Sounds very tasty. I'll be round in about 2 hours. I think it takes to get up to Lincolnshire from here. Simon from Project MGTF is currently looking for a picnic set and a little camping stove for Henrietta. Can't beat a good cuppa at the lunchtime break at race meets. No. Um, Amazon, maybe, eBay. I try not to look at eBay because we all know what happens when beards and bangers goes on eBay. Money is spent and cars come home. But Simone makes a killer cottage pie from scratch. Rob, cottage pie is one of my favoritist comfort foods. Um, it's the perfect meal. It's got mince, which I love mince. Old style mince. Who still has that? Old style mince, just mince, potatoes, and then some kind of vegetable. That's to me is British comfort. And then cottage pie elevates it to another level because you get the mashed potato built in. Simone, I've got a question for you. Do you put cheese in your killer cottage pie? In the mash, not in the actual meat, because that would be weird. But yeah, do you put cheese in the mash? It doesn't matter if you don't. Um, Simone is also looking for a mini baby camping set so you can make a brew when out and about, which you people with tourers can do because you've got tourers and it is the year of the tourer. Um, duh, 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 duh. Rover Joe, I need to do that job on all my cars. I'm not going to enjoy it. My 75 Civic and 200 all need the headlining redoing. Thankfully, the Vitesse has rods that go through its headlining so it stays up. That's yeah, that's that. Those rods are very convenient. Yeah, I've got the 190's done, so the headlining on that's done. The BRM needs doing, but I'll wait till I get the rest of the bodywork done before I get that one out. And the 260 is beginning to go. The ZTT has no clutch, but has got a perfect headlining, which is quite something. But I'm probably never going to drive that car. I just got a feeling I'm never ever going to drive that car. I think I'm just going to sell it as it is because yeah, it's done its job. I used it and abused it. Done so. Bolognese made with fresh garlic, fresh basil, lots of Parmigiana, Reggiano, black pepper, and a touch of HP. Controversial. Simon's in danger of turning into a boaty. FM has got to go now, but very nice on live. First time for you. Looking forward to more. Will proudly represent Jags. Good man. Represent the Jags. And yeah, thank you for coming along. Welcome aboard. And excuse me. Yeah, look, they're 9 o'clock Wednesdays at the moment. Might start doing another one now and again as well. But yeah, do please. That's 9 a.m. 9 p.m. British summertime. So 10 p.m. Belgian summertime, which I think is Central European time. Yeah, Simone puts cheese in the mash. You got to. It's the law, I think. Ooh, Rover Joe takes me back to my childhood. What about peas in mash? That again is another favourite comfort food of mine. Fish fingers, mashed potato, peas with ketchup ou la tomate, which is lovely, really nice. Mash with a touch of mayo is nice. I've heard that. Did we start on salad cream last week? I think we might have done. Did I say about chips and salad cream? I did. Because I remember Simone saying that chips and salad cream was worth trying. If you weren't here last week and you didn't hear what I said, or you didn't hear what I said, just try one chip. Next time you get chips from the chip shops, gotta be chip shop chips with salad cream. Food of the gods. Pingu says, don't forget your hamper and posh cutlery. And you need some kind of blanket as well, don't you? Some real big tartan blanket with a Labrador kind of built into it. I'm guessing. I'm going Volvo now, aren't I? I'm going Volvo estate. Yeah, where mummy and daddy watch Henrietta riding her pony. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? Mine's 99 says corned beef hash. That is lovely. That is banging comfort food. Mine's 99 fried egg with it or not? Just a question. Simone asks if Simon has a toast rack in Henrietta. I did briefly have a toast rack in my R8 in my 216. I thought it, which is it, this other YouTube channel says it's a tea shelf. I mean, I guess it could be for tea, but it lends itself to toast. Toast rack. I think having a toast rack in a car is it should be the law. I'm surprised actually that Quadlock haven't come up with a toast rack mount in their range, because Quadlock phone mounts, I don't know if anyone knows that brand, but they are very, very good. So I'm sure if you look on their website, they will have a toast rack mount with the magnetic twisty thing, so it really stays secure, so your toast stays there and doesn't inevitably fall butter side down onto your carpet. Or if you turn the car over, it would go butter side down onto your saggy headlining, of course. Where did we get to? Mark's dad, Bad Books' his dad. His dad always waited for the young kid in the butcher's and asked for a leg of mince. The confused look on their faces always tickled him. Is that like sending the apprentice on the building site to go and get some left-handed screwdrivers? Is it one of those one of those kind of jokes? If it is, I like those kind of jokes. Matt Dickens, mine could do with a rod to stay up. Well, you'll never hear me making smutty remarks, Matt Dickens, number plate legend, so I don't think you should be starting doing that now, my good friend. Oh, no, you can. That's what we do on here. That is a cracker. It's an age thing, dear boy. It's an age thing. Simon does not have a toast rack. He prefers the pyramid method. Is that two statements in one sentence? So you don't have a toast rack, and then you prefer that. Is the pyramid method like a natural method of contraception recommended by the Catholic Church? I can't remember. Pingu will be getting a caravan. Sorry, he says he will be getting a caravan next, towed by the Streetwise. That sounds eminently fine. Oh, there we are. And then you'll name your caravan and then get someone else to write a song about it. I'm guessing, Simon, because you can't really do one about your own caravan, can you? Or maybe you could. Well, no, you can, because you're technically a gifted musician. So, of course, you can do a song about your own caravan, but would it be appropriate for you to? Or Simon's serenades at 7. Yeah, Simon did serenade us last week, was it? Bad Book says raw shallots in mash. Yeah, same to you, mate. Raw onions or shallots are lovely and very good for you. Rover Joe, when he does his mash, he does not he puts butter in it, makes it nice and creamy. You've got to put butter in. If you're doing real luxury mashed potatoes, what you can do, and that's for real and you end up looking like this. So middle-aged, fat and bald, amongst many other things, is you actually get some double cream and you warm that in a small saucepan into which you melt butter and then pour a mixture of butter and double cream into which you put sea salt and white pepper, and you pour that into your mashed potato, and that turns it into a calorie fest. But it tastes absolutely lovely. Butter and cream make everything taste lovely. Mash with salad cream. Yes, salad cream can. Yeah, ham salad sandwich with salad cream, chips and salad cream, mash and salad cream. We can keep going on the salad cream, Simone. It will never end. Bit of milk too. Yeah, milk or cream. Simone. Again, this is where we get this, this journalistic tendencies on this channel. Bangers and mash. How do you do yours? I do mine like desperate down with gravy and peas. Yeah, that's my onion gravy and peas I go to. But yeah, gravy and peas with sausage and mash is a must. Simon says quad lock are awesome. Got one on the bike. Yeah, they're good for bike. Bike mounted toast rack could be weird. Yeah, you could end up with because if the toast rack the wind pushed the toast off the toast rack, invariably it would obviously fly at high speed, but being buttered toast, I'm assuming, would invert to the butter side. The butter side was facing you, and then would plant on your visor like that, and you would have a triangle of toast right across your eyes. Which, yeah, in some ways it's convenient because the wind has brought the toast nearer to your mouth. But in other ways, it depends rather how fast you would be going as to whether that would be dangerous or not. And of course, it would depend on how much hour troll you consume before you set out on one's bike journey. Pingu says, good ideas, Rob. I have a reason now to have a toast rack on my tourist toast shelf. Voila. Perfect. Lisa Brooker, owner of a Twilight. Might have got the colour wrong. Not Twilight or Nocturne, one of the two. It's up in the comments, and I can't remember. I get confused with these monogram colours because they're so nice. I get confused with colours, full stop, actually. Welcome. Thanks for the little video of my ZR Twilight at POL. Appreciate it. You are more than welcome. I picked out a few of my favourite cars, and yours, Lisa, was one of them. So, not saying I didn't have other favourite cars, but there's just a few that caught my eye. You know, I had monogram ZTs, I had monogram ZRs, and I had a beige Morris Ital. I'm quite taken with. I was really taken with that beige Morris Ital. But I'm not taking away from your because your car, Lisa, is stunning and it is mint. It is absolutely mint. But you're very welcome. It was very nice to see you as well. Simon forgot. Simon did. He forgot about that song. Have you taught your brain to forget that song? Is it some kind of therapy that you've trained yourself in? I'm here for you, Simon. If you want to discuss it. Stephen S. Paul, we don't have toast racks. Here, I found lots of vintage toasters and cars. Vintage toasters and cars. Is that a standard American kind of built-in feature? Rather than having an armrest, you have a toast rack. Yeah, but no, we don't really have toast racks in the UK anymore. But there's a resurgence. Sadly, the toast rack hasn't taken off quite as much as our troll, but we can try. Simon says mashed potatoes is a very deep rabbit hole to be going down at this point. We shouldn't really eat carbs this time of night, or let alone discussing them is as bad as eating them. So, but I did instigate a pasta-based debate, so I'm guilty of starting this this unnecessary carbohydrate thing at this hour. Lisa cheats and makes the frozen bag instant match with just milk and butter. Yum. I use frozen mash. It's fine. But I still add cream and butter to it and more seasoning because they haven't put enough salt and pepper in. But yeah, frozen mash is really, really good. I feel sorry for people who make smash. That I mean, it's funny if you look at the ingredients of smash are the same. If you go in Sainsbury's, buy a box of smash, look at the ingredients or the chemical code. Go into B&Q, buy some Solvite wallpaper paste. Same ingredients. These are the facts. These are the facts that you find out on Beards and Bangers. Bad books. Bangers mashed with gravy and Branston baked beans. Branston baked beans are a fine, fine thing, and they are my go-to baked bean. Bangers with beans is good as well. In fact, I did treat myself to tin of Heinz baked beans, which aren't quite as good as Branston baked beans, with the little chipolatas in last week because it's again a childhood food that I sometimes have to eat. I think it's time for a Slurpeo. Oh, wonderful. First wine on Beards and Bangers for a couple of weeks because, of course, I was antibioticed up for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, first slurpage. No Vimto tonight. Simon says bangers and mash with pancakes. Nom nom. Is that because you and Julie have it's like a fusion cuisine? So you have the good old British banger and mash with the French crepe. Is that what's going on there, Simon? Fried cheesy mash is epic. It sounds lovely. A toast-related RTA. Yeah, that's what could happen. I'm glad you've thought about that and thought about the consequences. So, Dinosaur Dad's brother used to have a 620 Ti. There was Mike from Drive Tribe has recently got a 620 Ti, which I had a look at on Saturday. That's really nice. Don't know if there are any others. I didn't see any other 620 Ti's. Did see an 820 Ti or 820 Vitesse, as they're actually called. But yeah, 620 Ti, nice cars. I think sadly a lot of those cars have been bought, had the engines taken out, and then had the engine taken out, and then the engine's then gone in a 200 or a ZR. Pingu asks, "Do I like olive syrup? If so, what type?" I love olives. I think my favourite are the ones with anchovy and garlic stuffing. Black or green is fine, but yeah, anchovy and garlic as the stuffing is particularly nice, and it gives you that little umami in your mouth. And it's been a while since I've had a little umami in my mouth, but yeah, she's a very nice girl. Yeah, black or red, green olives with anchovy and garlic. Mwah. Do you like olives, Sir Pingu? Stephen Mustard had posted a video. Does Mustard do a video every day? I think he does. I don't know if you're Paul. Are you still here? Do you try and upload a video every day? Because that's going some, sir. Simon's on 4% battery, which means he may just fall off the chat. Don't fall off anything, Simon. But yes, if you're coming up, my chats do seem to go on a bit now, which is good. So yeah, please make sure you are prepared in future, Simon. Otherwise, we'll have to discuss it privately. Bad Book says, Dad, there's a black 620i that randomly drove around POL with loud, fruity exhaust. I missed that. I must have been really chatting to people that day. You included, Mark, which was nice. I'm just so nice, just chatting to like-minded people. Simon says, no flimsy crepe here, just big butch pancakes. So you think you're talking about the thick American-style pancakes, the ones that are really nice with maple syrup and fruit and other things I can no longer have. Lisa quite likes bangers and mash with pepper sauce. That's interesting. We shan't do steak sauces because that's another good topic. Yeah, peppercorn sauce is lovely. Pingu says olives with anchovy are his favourite too. Olives have got bloody expensive though. Same with every other food, to be honest. Yeah, butter's going up massively, and I'm not talking about last tango in Paris. I'm talking about the price of butter. Stephen S. Paul says you'd be surprised or shocked, possibly both, at what I found in those cars. I found loads of cash recently in cars. Loads of musical instruments, including some pianos and guitars. How big are these cars? If you can get a piano in, you're talking like an electric piano, a keyboard style one, or an actual Surely you can't mean a grand piano. And although I know you guys do have bigger cars over there, so just give me 2 seconds. Have a look at my headlining. Have a look at my headlining. That's my headlining. Um, right, where did we get to? Yeah, blimey. Right, comments have calmed down, so I can have a look at some comments. I've done POL meeting people. I thanked you all, you wonderful people, for the 1,000 subs. So we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I've had some funny spam emails over the. I don't know if someone's signed me up as a bit of a jape, but I've been getting these slightly strange emails. The first one came yesterday, and it was from farting, um, and it starts. Three things your farts are telling you about damaged digestion and dot dot dot. And obviously, I didn't read it because I don't want to read a suspicious email, but it's from a mailing list which I can unsubscribe from. Then today I had two further emails from the same people. Tingling numbness. Um, Surprising connection between neuropathy and your morning routine. My morning routine is drinking copious amounts of tea, to be quite honest. And I quite like my morning routine. I find it very relaxing. Occasionally, I listen to some classic FM or Magic FM. FM. But tonight's missive from Painful Knees was called Bone on Bone. So yeah, I'm gonna keep you up to date on these. Normally I block this kind of email, but yeah, it's extremely weird, and they're going into my inbox, not my junk box. So yeah, I will keep you updated about farting. Mhm. It's one of those words, isn't it? Fart. It just makes one smile, if not more than smile, titter slightly. Uh, Simon says, "Here's a comment." Thank you, Simon. Rover Joe has been playing a bit of GTA 4 on Xbox 360. If anyone remembers playing that, I'm not a games console person, really. I've never. I had a Game Boy when I was younger, but I'm not really a. I've never been into games, so I'm not the right person to ask. But I'm sure, given the broad church that beards and one sec, I'm slurring, so I need to have some more to drink and try not to lose my glasses. Yeah, I'm sure, given the broad church that we are here at Beards and Bangers, that there are people in this chat who play games. But is GTA, is it a driving game, Joe? If so, it sounds marvelous. Oh, when Simon asks, Simon's your man to ask, Joe. There we are. So he asked, is that the one with the dodgy car physics? Simon never reads his emails. That sometimes leads me into problems. I hope you read your work emails. Rover Jones and Simon interacting about GTA 4. Lisa Brooker, sorry. I should know that because my surname's Brooke. So you're like a Brooker. You missed the mini monogram lineup photo shoot I organised at POL near the end of the day. Was epic. Going to be in a magazine, hopefully next week. Do tell me, drop me a Facebook thingy message. That's the thing. Messenger message, Lisa. Tell me which magazine. I'll purchase it because I like seeing things like that. I'm sorry I missed it. I think I was over back with Project Nigel, Paul and Colin and Simone and loads of other YouTubers. We were in a circle singing Kumbaya. No, we weren't doing that. Yeah, no, I was over by the Rover and British Marks, I think, at the back end of the day. So I'm sorry to have missed that. 'Cause that would have been a good photo. And I didn't take enough photographs. I've got a nice camera, I don't do photographs for anyone but myself. They're my personal pleasure. Um, and I didn't really take that many. I was just chatting all day, chatting like a chatterbox. Pingu asks, has Boaty signed me up for singles club yet? His singles club. I've not told him. I daren't, but I'm sure it's going to slip out at some point, and my news as well. So, but yeah, no, I'm just going to have some me time. I think for now. Singles. So, you see, yeah, but I'm sure he might. But yeah, I'll come back to you on that, Pingu. Simon was looking at getting a new gen console just for the RoboCop game. There we are. Do these games consoles come out every year? I'm guessing they come out every year about November time, so they can sell out and kids can get frustrated when their parents don't get them one for Christmas. Yeah, Tetris on the Game Boy Tetris was quite something. No iPhone or Android versions of Tetris quite hit the mark in quite the same way. The music was it da 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 da, which is the Russian dance, I think. But it was lovely, and yeah, my dad was quite into it as well. And my dad was very good at Tetris. May he rest in peace. And then Simon says the work emails are the ones best left alone. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that. Matt says that going in Classic Car Weekly, I can definitely get that. So will that be next week's edition? Ping me a message when you know it's out, and I'll run to the shops and get one. Run to Smith's and get one. Sun's up, yeah. Morning properly, Dinosaur Dad. Sun's up, tea drunk, yeah. Ready for the day. Stephen S. Paul. I take my glasses off for this so I can really read this properly rather than making mistakes. We scrap the occasional moving van and then some. I've got lots of UK Vox guitars. Simon's ears are going to prick up now. Simon's ears pricking up is this. It's like guitars, I'm sure that's what Simon's ears are going to do. We've dragged old Steinway grand pianos out of moving vans, like I said, plus lots of Winnebago motorhomes. So you've got some American, wealthy person in their motorhome, Doris Van Winky, grandfather made money in on the East Coast in banking or something things, and so is Doris Van Winky in the back of her Winnebago playing the piano on holiday. I can just imagine it. That's incredible. Your tales, Stephen, are brilliant. So please keep them coming, because I'm sure it's not just me that gets amused by them. Lisa's off to bed. Busy day tomorrow. Yeah, message me. Let me know. I'll go and buy it and look at it. But night, Lisa. Take care. Project MGTF, Simon. Anyone know the best place to start a fire on an MGB GT to have the least chance of putting it out? Oh God. Tell me that's not actually happened. Oh Christ. I'm hoping not round the differential or somewhere like that. Or really hard to get to. Come on. Don't want to know. Simon's ears are noisy because he heard Stephen S. Paul mentioning guitars. Okay. Or is it noisy because they do this noise? But Pinky says, don't worry, Simon. It's just your ear hair growing. When I go to the barbers now, and I didn't actually ask, these Turkish, we've got a lot of very good Turkish barbers in Aylesbury. And I went to one a while ago. And they said, would you like me to trim your ear hair? And I said, well, yeah, you can. I didn't realise I had an ear hair, but apparently I did. So the Turkish guy, I thought he was going to use the clippers like I'm just around my ears. and he got out a metal stick with a ball of cotton wool on the end, dipped it in methylated spirits, set fire to it, and then started going in my ear, and I could smell burning hair. And I was quite, it didn't hurt, but it was like, at least bloody warn a chap if you're going to have a burning wad of cotton wool and shove it near his ear lug hole. Jesus Christ. Oh. So, Spag Bowl. We've done Spag Bowl. We've done funny spam emails. I was going to do the B&B effect, but the person who that's happening to isn't on the chat, unless Darren Ball is lurking. But yeah, he posted a comment on the Beards and Bangers Facebook group last night about, since watching my channel, he's bought our troll and is considering buying a 260. You know, it is mention his name and he shall appear. Does that make me a witch? Who knows? Yeah. So, is there such a thing as the B&B effect? Has it affected you? Do I need to be setting up a helpline manned by sympathetic people, namely my cat, because he sleeps near the telephone? Yes. Darren's wallet says yes. So that means there is such a thing as the B&B effect. So if anyone is suffering from the B&B effect, then please do let me know. You don't have to put it in the chat. You can send me a private mail via Facebook, and I will treat it in the strictest confidence. Yeah. So if you've been a victim of the B&B effect, then do let me know. But Darren, has your wallet actually opened? And other than our troll, which I'm drinking our troll spritz right now, it's really nice. Have you bought an MGZT 260? Please say yes. Yeah. My cat hasn't made an. I was hoping Louis to feature. Louis does feature. Louis will feature in a video that comes out in the next few days. And he escaped because I left the front door open. I was working on one of the cars, and he escaped. And he features in the video in the wrong way. I don't like my little Louis going out the front because I'm a bit like Mavis Pike with Louis. You know, he's 3 years old, but he's still a baby, and he shouldn't be going places he shouldn't go. So I make sure he's got his scarf on and all that kind of thing. If he's with Uncle Arthur, it's better. But yeah, I do worry about that. Seriously, I worry about because his sister got run over, so I just don't want the same thing happening to him. But yeah, Darren has clamped his wallet shut. That is sensible. Yeah, I must admit, I did go on eBay earlier and was looking at a few things, and I was like, no, I'm just not gonna put them on my watch list. I'm gonna forget I saw them. I'm gonna have a word with myself. Pingu's off. Good night, Pingu. Got to rescue his daughter from some spiders. That's a good reason to go. See you soon, mate. Take care. Well, what a fine live stream this has been. Again, we've covered some mightily impressive topics. We're really getting deep into some of these things. So I haven't given you my spag bowl recipe is basically the Italian version, but I add garlic and basil because basil tastes bloody lovely. And it's the king of herbs. I do have it with spaghetti, and I have lots of meat sauce because it's really nice. Yeah. So yeah, I try and break these live streams. We can talk about cars all night, but it's nice to break things up. And what better way than talking about my second favorite thing, which is food. But yes, we'll try and I don't know how many cricket fans we've got in the room because we've got cricket coming up pretty soon. I think the first Ashes Test match is in June, so I'm going to be well excited for that because I do like my cricket. I'm semi into football, but not. I'm not a football nut. Um, like my rugby. I like my tennis. I play tennis, so that's it's a sport I like playing as well as watching. I used to play cricket as well, but I don't anymore because it's quite time consuming. So it's either cars or cricket for me. But yes, I'm looking forward to the cricket. So if anyone is a cricket fan, then took to let me know because we can have some banter, especially if you are an Australian. Simone says the only cricket I like are the ones that live in my garden. Fair enough. And they make such a lovely sound. It's such a nice sound hearing crickets in the summer, making their. Is that the right noise? Have I done a really bad impression of a cricket? I like doing accents, but crickets is not. It's not. I'll practice. I'll tell you what, Simone. I'll practice my cricket impression in the mirror before the next live stream, so that I get it really down to a T. Yeah, Grover Joe said crickets in the evening, like 9 p.m. in the summer. Yeah, it's a nice sound. Not one I get where I live because I live in an urban area. So the only sounds I get are ambulances, police cars, and drunks. The latter being me. So yeah, it's not something I hear that. If I go to my mother's, which is in the countryside, then I hear that kind of thing. Joe likes birds in the morning doing the dawn chorus too. It's lovely. It is nice. It's it's nice. There's certain sounds that are just really lovely, aren't they? Make you feel kind of all inside. Matt played cricket one time for secondary school against St Albans School. I was third in, and my final tally was 0 runs not out. Not out is good. Yeah, not out is good, and you were there. That meant you carried your bat. St Albans School, they were quite good at cricket, from what I remember when I was at school. Yeah, so yeah, we were quite local, aren't we, Matt? Stephen S. Paul, Atari, ColecoVision, Intellivision, plus all the aftermarket spin-off games, stroke cartridges, Texas Instruments, all the big names in the era, and you gave it all away. And you could have sold it to Simon or Rover Joe. You'll know for next time, Stephen. You will know for next time. Simone says the only birds I hear in the morning are seagulls screeching. That's because of where you live, I'm guessing, Simone. But for me, that makes me think of being in the southwest. It makes me think of holidays in Sidmouth, or holidays in Foy, another place I like to go. I was in Foy last year. That's Foy's Cornwall, for those that don't know. Simone will know because it's her neck of the woods. Yeah. For me, that seagull sounds evocative. But imagine if you live with it every day, it's fucking annoying. And the only birds I hear in my urban area are Sharon and Bathsheba having a scrap at 2:00 in the morning after falling out of Mirage nightclub, having had too many WKD blues. And then you find their knickers on the ground when you walk to the shop to get a newspaper in the morning. Anyway, I shan't rant. Bad Books says, or Bad Books states, a useless fact, which, just having seen the name, to me, this isn't useless. My cousin is Gary Pratt, who caught out Ponting when England won the Ashes. They put him on as a sub. I remember this. This was the Ashes in 2005, and it was a very tight series. And Ricky Ponting, who was the Australian captain and a very, very, very fine player, was got out by Gary Pratt because they put him on as a specialist substitute fielder. He was a brilliant fielder, and Ponting went absolutely ballistic. And there's this. It was a highlights on Sky Sports the other day. Actually, I was watching it, and Ponting goes marching up the stairs towards the dressing room, and he's sort of going to Duncan Fletcher, who was the England coach at the time. You fucking prick! You bloody, You bloody put it on delivery now. I fucking got out. You fucking yeah. All that kind of stuff. But Gary Pratt made a tight game, England's, and then we won the Ashes for the first time in 18 years. So, Bad Books, you are related to Gary Pratt, which means you, by blood, are a legend. Simone would shoot shite hawks. If you could shoot shite hawks, you would. You're not allowed to shoot shite hawks. Are they not considered vermin like crows? Or do you just not like shooting stuff? Because I don't like shooting stuff. It's not very nice shooting things. Bad Books has a seagull, or Bad Books' brother has a seagull's nest on his chimney. Very noisy. Dinosaur Daddy's off. Have a great day. See you soon. Thank you for joining. Really nice to have you here. Get Bad Book says Gary still plays for Richmond and runs a sports shop in Bishop Auckland. So yeah, he's up. So yeah, of course, up in that northeast area, that wonderfully friendly part of the country. Darren has seagulls on our flat loft roof over our bedroom. Damn thing seems to be rehearsing river dance every morning. I'm just imagining that now, like seagulls in green waistcoats doing the Michael Flatley. That's yeah, that's tickled me, Darren. That really has. Seagulls are protected. I did not know that. Yeah, we have a lot of red kites in our neck of the woods. So just about 10 miles south of me, you've got the no, not 10, but there's a town called Stokenchurch, and we've got the Chiltern Hills running just a couple of miles south of the town. So they've released 2 breeding pairs of red kite. Red kites were exterminated during the were eradicated during the Victorian times because they were considered vermin. And then it's like, oh, red kites should be back in the skies. Fair enough, fair comment. And they are magnificent beasts. They really are. So they introduced 2 breeding pairs in Stokenchurch, and I think another one down maybe in the Surrey Hills as well, so a bit further south of me. And there are now red kites. They've bred very well. So there's red kite, and they circle. They even come over Aylesbury now, which is Aylesbury's a town, not a massive town, but it's fairly big town. And there's now too many red kites. There's not enough food, so they're flying over towns rather than over fields. So they're not our problem because they're beautiful creatures and they don't really interfere with anything. But yeah, we have a lot of red kites around here. Seagulls are bastards and attack people. Do you know, when I was in Cornwall last summer, one nearly got my ice cream, but I didn't let it. It was trying. And it was lemon ice cream as well, which is one of my favorites. So no way any bird is going to get near my lemon ice cream. Red kites breed like rabbits. They do, and they're in East Anglia too. They're all over now, I think, mate. I think there's loads of there are serious amounts of red kites in this country. Raptors. Yes, yeah, but wildlife is lovely. Just don't see enough of it in my town. So I do like to get out and have a little sightsee now and again. Because I'm surrounded by countryside, but just not right near where I live. Well, it's 10 to 11. Bloody hell, it's well past my bedtime. No, it's been a cracking live stream once again. We've had some new faces from England. Some new faces. Oh no, Jimmy's made a comment. So I won't wrap up yet if people are still commenting. I don't want to cut anyone off because that's really painful. Jimmy's got thousands of seagulls where he lives. Are you coastal, Jimmy, or are you inland? Simone, I know you're slightly inland. Oh no, you're not, are you? You're estuarine where you are, aren't you? Plymouth. Lots of rivers flowing into Plymouth. Yes, Boaty will be on in 11 minutes. I want to give you time to have a wee, make a cup of tea, get a whatever. Yes, we will let you brace yourself for Boaty. I'm going to actually go straight to bed because I'm a tired boy because hard at it all day, and I've been working too. Um, and Jimmy lives in Gorleston-on-Sea, so that's clearly a seaside place because it's called On the Sea. Bad Book saw a buzzer take a small seagull on a field opposite our house. Wow, that's yeah. So, but do buzzers take live? Because uh, red kites will only take carrion or roadkill. Um, uh, yeah, but do buzzers take live prey? Are they more like a falcon or a hawk? Simone's 3 miles from the sea. My favourite place in Simone's neck of the woods is Barbican, um, which is like the really old part of Plymouth, and it's like a village. It is lovely. Um, and my funny story about Barbican is I was in the Dolphin, I think it's the Dolphin Inn, Dolphin Pub, and they have this real cider, like scrumpy, and I love real cider. And I had rather too much of this 7%er. I wasn't ill or violent or sick or anything like that. I was just very, very drunk. Dolphin Pub, yes. I had to be carried, not literally carried, but I had a mate on under each arm, and they had to get me to this Turkish restaurant just up the one of the little gas. Going to German, they're not gasser. Alleyways, that's the word. Um, uh, and yeah, they force fed me rice and pide bread, and I was okay after that. And I woke up the next day feeling absolutely fine, and went on a lovely tour of the Plymouth Gin Distillery. I love Plymouth, especially Barbican. Yes, buzzers disable them first. To crow as well. You're 5 miles from sea, right on the wash. So yeah, you've got Hunstanton at the bottom of the wash, haven't you? And then Wells one side. So I'm guessing you're the other bit. I have friends who live in somewhere called Burley Marsh, just outside Skeg, but I'm guessing that's a little further north than you are, Mark. But yeah, I do like getting around England. I like getting around. I do. But I'm gonna now that I'm young, now that I'm free and single, I'm going to be getting up and down the country. I'm gonna plan a tour of the northwest because I want to catch up with a couple of people up there, more than a couple of people actually. And yeah, I'll be doing a southwest trip at some point, Simone, in my TF because I like going to the southwest. Yeah, Skeg is north. You're in the middle. Yeah, yeah. I like Lincolnshire's nice. Lots of cabbages round Spalding. I noticed. Simone lived near the Barbican in the late 90s. Ideal for crawling home drunk. Yeah, it's a very compact, very compact area, isn't it? It's a bit like my favourite city in the world is Seville. If anyone's been in Seville, please do put a comment because I think Seville is a fantastic place, and the city centre itself is actually quite small. I think we think all cities are big because London's so big, but Seville is really compact, and you can walk. You don't have to get a taxi if you go to Seville. You can pretty much walk to all the bits you'd want to walk to. Yeah, so that's somewhere else I want to go this year, but that won't be a road trip. That'll be a plane trip. Yeah, I think one day I will do a challenge. I'll set myself a challenge of driving somewhere, a bit further away in one of my cars to see if it copes with it. See if I cope with this as well. If anything goes wrong, there's not not a friendly specialist garage down the road to help me. Simone can't stand Londinium. No, I don't mind going to the centre. I don't have to drive, and it's actually the centre of London is actually really quite quiet unless you go on holiday times. It's not really got busy again since the pandemic. It's weird. Yeah, but no, London How long did it take me to do 3 miles in North London once? 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to do 3 miles. It was so annoying. Jimmy Quinn's off. Goodbye, Jimmy Quinn. Night, night. Matt says London is a shithole. And I don't think you can say any more than that, really. Yes, I go to Wembley a lot because there's a lot of building in Wembley. That's not too bad to get to, but everything's got skyscraper next to skyscraper next to skyscraper. There's going to be no light. There's going to be no light left eventually. Darren is hoping to do some longer drives this year. Not been able to drive far for 2.5 years due to some weird health issue. PL was your longest drive since 2020, around 30 miles. Oh wow, okay, mate. Well, yeah, good luck with getting back on the road with some longer mileage. I wish you well with that, mate. We'll have to go for a drive together maybe sometime. It's nice to have a little convoy. So you're not that far away from me. Matt is lucky he lives just outside, can see the M25 from your house. M25, world's biggest car park. Yeah, Simone says PL was 250 miles for you. So it was 250. It was 250. I said 300. I guessed inaccurately 300, but I wasn't far off. Darren says, "Cheers. I need to use my car." Yeah, Matt, we must use our cars. I really want to get my 190 back on the road because I love that car. Because it is pretty mechanically, it's actually all right now, and the engine's good, and still got a few bits to kind of fettle with it. But yeah, I want to get some miles on that one this year because that's my motor. It's my motorway muncher. But folks, listen, it is 5 to 11. The Reverend Dr. Boaty McBoaty is going to be putting his wine in the freezer. Simone does need to get TC out for an. I want to meet TC, so I'll let you drive mine if you let me drive yours. That's the right thing to say, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't just offer to drive my own car because that would have been really stupid. And I do say stupid things like that sometimes without thinking. Deal. I'll make it I'll book a couple of days holiday down that way. Film on Netflix is a good way of falling asleep. Yes. Matt's just finishing his last plate because he's Number Plate Legends. Number Plate Legends finish plates off at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Thank you for watching, folks. If you haven't already hit the like button, please make sure you hit the like button, which on my screen is up here, but on your screen will be down there. Thank you once again for being part of that effort that got me over 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you again next week. It'll probably be another 3 or 4 videos out between now and then. So do watch those and watch them all the way through to get my watch hours up. Watch my complete playlist as well to get my watch hours up. Let's just go for it. But no, thank you for the support. Those of you who I met, I think it was all exclusively for the first time on Saturday. Really enjoyed it. So lovely. And I hope that we're not strangers for too long. And those I haven't met, I hope I meet you soon as well. So good night all. Those on Boaty's live stream, have fun. Those going to bed like me, sleep well. Goodbye.